show presents Kyle.
Sweet. So our brand is called Gnar Snowboarding Apparel. So we are a apparel brand that's tailored towards snowboarders. We started rolling the ball in September of last year, and it took about 3 months or so to kind of get everything ready, from the hats, getting the label stitched on, and finding a screen printer to work with. That took us to about, I think it was December, and we started making our first sales in January. But basically, just a bit about the brand. Gnar Snowboarding Apparel is an apparel line designed for snowboarders. It's basically designed to be worn at the mountain or in the bar, wherever life kind of takes you. It's also not just a winter brand, but also a summer brand as well, in the sense that snowboarders do a lot of things in the off season to occupy their time, keep them in shape. So obviously, being in the mountains, there's lots to do. So camping, hiking, just spending time outdoors, and basically spending as much time as you can outdoors with your friends in a weird time, in a safe way, basically. But yeah, the brand launched, I think it was January. We've recently set up a website where you can make orders online, so it makes transactions a little bit easier, and the goods are actually delivered right to your doorstep, which is awesome. We have shipping available in both Canada and the US right now. With our website on Shopify, you can actually have your shipping rate calculated based on where you are on live rates, so that's pretty awesome. And yeah, so far it's been awesome. We've got a couple of different items out so far, so just kind of working from this corner outwards. We've got the this is the first design we actually had, was the OG Black Diamond long sleeve. So every item that we have is kind of named after something to do with snowboarding. So that's the OG Black Diamond long sleeve, Black Diamond as in like the runs. Then we also have our long sleeve is the white one here, Powder long sleeve. So obviously powder, white, it kind of works that way. And we have the brain bucket beanies. They kind of go underneath your helmet, which some people call a brain bucket. So really soft, super, not thin, but they're like able to go under your helmet without being too bulky, which is nice.
What a catchy name. I love that.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. And even this guy here is like one of our newer items that we just put out, the low vis hoodie. So low vis as in like low visibility on some of the cloudier days. That's why we went with a gray hoodie with black writing. And then the newest item we just put out is this guy here, the Jibber Jacket, which is more so tailored towards like spring riding. Really good for this in the sense that it has kind of like a jersey lining on the inside of it.
Wow.
So rather than having to wear like a hoodie underneath, you can kind of just run that by itself. It's water resistant, wind resistant. It's really light, so it's awesome to kind of board in.
Is it waterproof?
It's not waterproof, it's water resistant, so it will keep the water out to a certain degree. So if you're like slashing slush at yourself and it gets on your jacket, it's not going to seep through, which is awesome.
Amazing.
It's a little breast pocket as well on the inside, so you can keep your phone or your card, like your pass in there, whatever you need. But yeah, I'm actually wearing the OG Black Diamond long sleeve now. There's a big back logo as well on the back.
Oh, that's fun.
So that's awesome.
How did you come up with the logo?
So the logo was kind of interesting. I was actually on a website that gives you little clip arts that you can kind of do mock-up logos with. And I was messing around with a beanie and a pair of ski goggles. That transformed into me taking like a skull and then overlaying the goggles on top with the beanie. And then it looked really kind of sketchy because I didn't have the software or the technology or the know-how to really put them all together and make them look good. So I reached out to the guy that was doing our screen printing as well, and he was able to come up with a logo based on the ideas that I had given him and the mock-up that I had done. And then another challenge that we kind of had to work with was coming up with a font that was unique as well, because obviously every brand wants to have a unique font rather than just simply copywriting somebody else's or paying for the license,
Exactly.
So that font's actually unique to us. That was all hand designed by him.
Whoa.
Which is awesome. So yeah, that's kind of where it all started. So he just basically took the idea that I had and transformed it into what we have now. And we do use two different types of logos as well. Like sometimes you'll see just the, I'll call this like our primary logo, and like this our secondary logo. But both get used just depending on what kind of like look we're going for. And even with the white one here, the white one does have like a sleeve print as well. So that's kind of cool.
I love that. That is really cool.
I was really stoked on these designs. I mocked all of them up online myself, and then worked with the screen printers to kind of bring that to life. So yeah, it's been fun so far. It's kept me busy during COVID. It was kind of started just as like COVID was getting pretty bad in Banff, and it really gave me an outlet during those tough times, like being locked up and not really having a way to hang out with friends and stuff. So
this like made you branch out and experiment,
totally, yeah.
and wow.
Yeah, for me, like this, like I said, I started mocking these up in like September of last year, and yeah, it was mostly just a way to kind of keep myself busy. I've always really liked streetwear. Like growing up, I was skateboarding a lot, so going to skateboard shops and seeing what they have to offer from different brands like that.
That makes sense. Like even the sketch designs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I love how you reached out and
For
like
sure.
I could see this at a skateboard park easy.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said before, we're not just like a snowboard brand. There's things that we do in the off season to keep ourselves occupied when snowboarding isn't maybe an option, or we don't have the option to chase after the snow because travel is kind of limited right now. So you'll definitely see this around in the skate parks this year. A lot of skateboarders snowboard and snowboarders skateboard. So
yeah,
it's kind of unique in that way that I like to think they're hand in hand with each other.
So during COVID, what do you do to like mental health wise? Like you made this, do you do anything for your mental health?
Yeah, honestly, this is kind of what I've done for my mental health during COVID. I started off in September, like I said, and at that time I was going through some mental health issues myself, and this was a way to really kind of take my mind off of the stuff that I was going through and kind of use it as a creative outlet to just take up time and kind of have something that I was working on. I was out of work for a bit like a lot of people, so just having something to do to keep myself busy, and yeah, it was awesome to kind of like have that outlet and find a way to be creative in a time like that, for sure.
That is really cool. So do you think you're going to like branch out into more stores, or like what have you done so far? Have you gotten into some stores, or do you want to move more online, or where do you want to take this?
Yeah, so right now I think we're pretty happy with just being like a smaller brand that's, you know, not going to jump too far ahead and jump into a store right away. I do really enjoy kind of handling like the shipping and the deliveries myself. I think it's more personal to deliver the item to a customer and, you know, have that conversation with them rather than having them maybe buy it in the store right away and not have that same interaction. So it's kind of cool, like when I'm making deliveries to people in Banff or Canmore or even Lake Louise, like it's nice to just talk to people and see how they're doing and talk to them about snowboarding, like what their goals have been for the year and how they're kind of doing. And,
wow.
It's nice to have that interaction too, because you can kind of get people's feedback on your items as well, which is really unique. It's cool to have that interaction with people. And
that personal connection, and you can find out what they like, what they don't like about your product, and build on that.
Definitely, yeah. It's been fun. I've gotten to know a lot of new people through the brand, and like it's awesome. I'll even reach out to people that I know and talk to them about what they think about the items, like the quality of the items and stuff like that. We're always looking to like improve things. We just want to put out the most quality soft goods that we can for snowboarders, basically.
I love that so much.
Thanks.
And like, how do you get most of your audience? How do people hear about you?
Yeah, so right now it's mostly word of mouth, but we also use social platforms like Instagram, and TikTok's another one.
Oh my gosh, your Instagram is amazing. I haven't seen your TikTok yet, so I'm excited.
There's some content we post on the TikTok that isn't available on Instagram.
Ooh.
So it's kind of an additional thing that people can do. We do have some team ambassadors as well. So just people that...
Is that snowboarder I was seeing online?
Yeah.
So you guys should check that out. The snowboard's so cool.
Yeah, we've got 4 now. So we've got Kylie, Parker, Sean, and Ben. So all those guys are awesome boarders, but it's not just that we were looking for. And ambassadors, we wanted people that were, you know, positive, always looking to help other people out, like not being that person at the slope that is making fun of somebody who's trying to learn, or, you know, just reaching out to somebody and trying to help them if they see them struggling with something. And we just wanted people that had a really good attitude, loved the sport, had a passion for it. And I think we found that in all 4 of our ambassadors.
Wow.
And it's kind of cool because we do have a wide variety of ambassadors in the sense that they're all different skill levels. They all have different preferences for the sport, like what type of riding they do. Some of our riders enjoy parks. Some of our riders enjoy, you know, just cruising and powder and carving. So there is a variety in our riders too, which is really awesome.
Wow, that is really, really cool stuff.
Definitely.
Tanya, over there, do you have any questions?
How is the packaging when you deliver? Do you have special packaging?
Yeah, so that's a great question. When we're delivering, so each item will be folded up kind of like it is now. Like we have a folder that folds them up into the shape that you see, and then they go into a cellophane clear wrapping, and they're also given stickers, like decals for your snowboard or for your car. They're about that big, and they come in the package as well, just as a little something extra to say thank you for, taking the time to order from us and learn a bit about our brand.
That is really cool.
Yeah, and with the online orders, they get the cellophane wrapping, but they're also putting up a white poly mailer, and then a thank you is written on each package with a permanent marker. So it's kind of like a permanent, like a personal touch that you can kind of add. Just a quick thank you for the support. And
that's amazing, and making that connection. Like,
definitely.
I love what you're doing. Like, this is so cool.
Yeah, it's good to know that like people are excited about the brand as well. That's obviously a very fulfilling feeling, is to know that you're putting out something that people are picking up and they're enjoying it. They are commenting on it without you asking for that feedback always. So that's really awesome.
So what do you think your biggest challenge was making this whole thing? Like, what's the hardest part, do you think?
That's a good question. I think for me, the main struggle for me is I don't come from like a business background per se. I come from like history and English. Like, I have a teaching degree, so that's kind of my primary focus. Right now I work at a snowboard shop, but that's where I will be eventually. So for me, I don't really have the business know-how. So learning how to, keep track of your inventory, learning how to balance your own books, learning how things kind of work in that aspect, how to get a website up and running, and how, credit card transactions work and how shipping works. The website for me was a really big challenge trying to figure that out. I think I probably spent maybe, I want to say like a week on and off just trying to get it set up, and the amount of agents
Good for you, yeah.
online to get their help on how to do it. There's a lot that goes into kind of building a website, learning how to create pages, learning how to set up shipping rates and stuff like that. So I think for me that was really kind of the hardest thing, was just getting that business know-how and kind of learning as you go.
That is really cool. And I actually went onto your website to send you a letter.
Right on.
And that is really, really cool, because the way you have it set up, like, you could tell you spent time in there. You wanted to make it look good and classy.
Definitely.
And I really like what you did.
Thanks. Yeah, we didn't want to make it like too overwhelming. It's a very basic website. It's super easy to check out and kind of just get the items. Like, on the front page of our website, we have some of our better selling items that people can just do quick picks on. They can add them to their cart and be checked out.
Wow.
Obviously, working at a snowboard shop as well, I can't be delivering packages every single day, especially with longer shifts. It's kind of hard. So we do our shipping in a way that once your order is placed, the Wednesday after that is when it will actually be shipped out, because that's my first off day from the snowboard shop.
That makes sense, yeah.
So, it gives me time to like run around and like do deliveries, and we do free delivery in Banff as well. So at checkout, if you're a local in Banff, you can actually select delivery, and I'll deliver it to your front doorstep myself on Wednesday.
That's really cool. And you actually get to meet the wonderful.
Absolutely.
This is amazing.
Sure, definitely.
So, like, what would you tell people just starting off in business or trying to do something like you or in a different branch? Like, what would you tell them? Give them some advice.
Yeah, definitely. Just kind of roll with the punches in terms of like the obstacles you're faced with. For example, you might find out that you have to switch maybe screen printers because they might not have something available that you need. Don't be afraid to reach out to other screen printers or providers to try and get the item that you want. I think is a big one. You obviously want to be happy with what you're getting. So if you feel like you need to change, or you feel like you need to go somewhere else to get an item that maybe your other provider doesn't give you, then don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to ask for help and for people's input, I think is a big one as well. Because at the end of the day, it's important to know what people are kind of looking for in a brand and in the items that you're selling under that brand. So, like for example, the ambassadors that I have for my team, we have a group chat, and any ideas that I have about the brand, I always like throw them by them and be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking maybe for summer. What do you guys think about this? Like, be open to asking for people's opinions, whether it's people that are ambassadors for your brand or friends or people that you're selling to. I think a lot of business owners are maybe scared to ask what people's opinions are on the items, because it makes them seem not confident or something, when in reality it's just asking what the people want from you.
Yeah.
What their preferences are. So I think just kind of reaching out to people and really seeing what they think about things is a good idea.
That's great advice for people just starting out, and I love that so much.
Awesome.
So if people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way?
Yeah, so we have on our website a contact us email as well. So it's gnarsnowboardingapparel@gmail.com, so we can be contacted right through that directly. Also, Instagram, we're constantly checking our DMs as well. or even Facebook. We do have a Facebook page. Obviously, I think in terms of social media, like Facebook kind of falls on the bottom a little bit when it comes to like TikTok and Instagram nowadays. But we are available on Facebook to answer questions and stuff as well. Like our page, your messages will go right through to us.
Oh,
and we'll be able
fantastic.
to respond right away.
That's great, because
Yeah.
like some people can't keep up, and you're keeping on top of it, and good for you.
Yeah, I think it's important when you have multiple platforms to be able to respond to people quickly. If people have questions, I've had people message me, how does shipping work, or how does this work?
Yeah.
It's good just to have multiple platforms to answer those questions on, depending on where you get them.
Have you done like videos answering the questions, or like little things, or like how do you keep track of all the platforms? Like, do you have a schedule? That's like the hardest thing.
I think for me, like most of them are connected. So like our Instagram and our Facebook account are connected. So any messages that I receive on Instagram go through my Facebook, so I'll get them at one end or the other. TikTok, I just have notifications on my phone, so they show up. I think that's kind of the platform where people go to watch stuff, but they don't necessarily try to get a hold of you through there. It's more so like Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So those messages all are funneled into one area anyways. My emails are primarily for, corresponding with the screen printers and people that I'm getting the items from. Like recently, we're in talks with somebody about doing maybe a hot sauce for the summer, which is kind of weird.
Ooh, that is cool.
It's kind of weird, but it's a cool idea in the sense that, like I said, the off season is kind of what we think about when it comes to summer. Like, what do people want in summer? What are people that are snowboarding in the winter? What are they doing in the summer?
Yeah.
Are they barbecuing? Are they hiking? It's one of those things where you kind of have to think ahead. But yeah, we've talked a little bit about possibly getting our own hot sauce out for the summer, so that would be pretty cool.
Oh, that's
unique.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Have you already started experimenting with your hot sauce, what you want to make? Or
Yeah, we're actually going to be doing a phone call in a couple of days just to see kind of what the
Ooh.
options are and stuff, but we'd love to get that as an item for the summer as well
Yeah.
as, just looking at what's coming next for us. Obviously being more so tailored towards a winter kind of brand, it's hard to put items out in the summer because you don't really know how that transfers over, if that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Like t-shirts, like we're not a skateboarding brand per se, but
You could transition into it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, t-shirts and like ball hats are going to be probably the focus for the summer. But also the hot sauce, if we can get that done, that would be awesome as well.
So can we get you like back on the show, like when you have your
Yeah,
hot sauce
definitely.
ready to go?
Totally, yeah. If we go through with the
we
hot
do like
sauce,
reaction videos, tasting it, and be like, whoa.
definitely, yeah. If we get the hot sauce rolling this summer, like I said, we're still like in talks about it. We're seeing how it's going to go and what the options are for that. But it's just an idea right now that we might be able to get done for the summer.
That is really
It's kind of
cool.
unique, right? As a clothing brand, like not a lot of clothing brands put out hot sauces, so
Yeah, you're gonna be one of the first ones and be like, hey,
Cool. Yeah,
we
totally.
don't just have hot items, we have hot sauce
Sauce
now.
as well.
Check it out.
Definitely, yeah, totally.
Oh my gosh, it seriously has been a pleasure having
Awesome,
you,
thank you.
and we
It's a
can't
pleasure.
thank you enough.
No, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today about the brand. It's been awesome to be here, and hopefully we can catch up with more stuff that comes out. I'd love to talk to you guys again.
We want you back 100%,
Awesome.
and these
Wicked.
items are awesome. I've been staring at them. I officially got to feel them. Like, this is so cool. Like, this texture is awesome. Made of acrylic, and oh, so nice.
Thank you.